Hello everyone watching. This is the legendary Continental GT 535 and today it's all wrapped up in newspaper. Newspaper. Um, Before you watch ahead, take a quick guess on what's being done, and I'm sure long time 535 owners might know why this is exposed and why this is like this. For the people who don't know, uh, this legendary motorcycle, as great as it is a single cylinder engine, and with single cylinder engines come a lot of vibrations. Now, this exhaust that you see on the bike is an original sports racing exhaust from ASCO that was made for the GT535. But that is not really the problem. The problem is with any exhaust that you put on this bike, there are vibrations, and those vibrations are bound to create stress fractures here and here. So, this is exactly what has happened to this bike. Well, this has been running for quite some years, and over the years it has developed stress fractures which had put cracks here and here. Now today, let me show you a quick DIY. It's not actually quick, but it's a DIY that you can do it yourself. And so far, what you see is what you see. Now coming to the primary solution to the problem. So this piece that you see here, it had developed cracked here and a crack here. So that was filled with welding. Now keep in mind, if you're doing it on your own or if you're getting it done anywhere outside, the welding that you need to do on this motorcycle should not be arc welding, because arc welding in general is a brittle type of welding and won't handle vibrations very well. So that might crack with repeated use. Whereas if you do CO2 welding, CO2 welding, it's electric welding, and the filament that is used in CO2 welding is a bit more malleable. So in now our terms, we call it the takozasta. It's chivat, meaning it's stretchy. So even if this has more vibrations, it might not crack because it's more malleable, and it might give a little but it won't come off. That's why CO2 welding. And even if you see, you can't really see it right now, but on the rest of the motorcycle, when the motorcycle is being put together, see here, this joint, these joints before were also done with CO2 welding, because TIG welding is very expensive, and that is only done on parts like this, the tank and everything, to give a very very smooth finish. But majorly for assembly of motorcycles and everything, CO2 is used. So now what is being done to this bike is, I've already got the pieces welded, everything was taken care of, and now the next step to this process is filling these pieces with putty, garbage. So I will be filling these small cavities with putty, and then I'll be giving it a douse with black spray paint, and hopefully it will turn out just as good as new. So if you're trying to do anything like this by yourselves, just keep a couple of things in mind. That the welding, just wrap up everything before you paint it, and you should be good. You don't need to go to any specialist. You can get it welded wherever you please. And for the rest of the process, stay tuned. For the next process, here are the couple of things that I'll be using. This is the black spray paint. This is some cotton waste that I'll be dousing with sanitizer or rubbing alcohol to wipe down these slight rust spots. So that will be taken care of, and then I'll be filling the cavities with putty, and then I'll be sanding it down, and then lastly a coat of spray paint. And yes, one thing that I forgot to mention before was, so when you're getting these two pieces welded, now welding is an exothermic process, and when you heat up metal, it expands. So what might happen is, when you're welding it here and here, if the welding is done in one go, this metal will expand and this piece that you see will go inside. And if that happens, the exhaust will start touching the swing arm. So to avoid that, make sure you first put a couple of spots here to hold the piece in place, and then you weld it completely. Or else, best thing to do is just take it out, matlab pull this piece out by maybe half an inch, and then put some spots, and then with the heat let it go in. But you don't really need to do that, because if you put spots, it will hold its shape perfectly, and then you can just weld on the rest of the piece. So step 1 is of course getting the welding done. Step 2 is cleaning the area with cotton and rubbing alcohol. Step 3 is filling the welded piece with putty, and step 4 is painting. But before any step, you need to do this, covering up the entire motorcycle so that you don't damage any other parts. So now, step 2. So now, step 2, step 3. Step 3 is done. I've filled it up with putty, and there's not really major filling to do. I just put putty to give it a better finish and give it an even finish, because there was some grinding that was done. Now after this dries up, maybe in a couple of hours, I'll sand this again with sandpaper, and then it will get a final coat of that black spray paint, and that will be it. It has been a couple of hours of application, and this has fully dried up, so there is no wet stuff, no residue that's coming off. Now it's time to sand it down with sandpaper, and lastly the paint. So this is almost done. I don't know how it looks to the camera, but it still looks rough, but it's actually not. The cavities are mostly filled up with this putty, and even here I still have to do a bit of sanding down, and after that just the paint, and it will be hopefully as good as new. And it is done. It is finally done. Well, to my naked eye, it looks damn nice. It looks damn good, because I don't see any separation between the two pipes, and even the finish looks very good. Give me 5 seconds. I'll take this entire thing off and I'll show you the end results. So here is the final result. It is back in its original condition, just good as new. Well, you be the judge of it. You tell me how good the job looks and if you should do it at home. But this is how it has turned out, and this is how the bike looks, and this is how the weld looks, this is how the paint looks, and it is finally done. I am quite happy. Well, and on that note, well, thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening, night, morning, whenever watching. Bye bye.